Right now on 13 Action News Live at 5, amazing images from the aftermath of a home explosion in Ohio. Tragically, one person died. President Trump and Kim Jong-un arrive in Singapore. This comes hours before their historic summit. But first, to our top story of the day, 2 juveniles are in custody after police say they killed another juvenile inside an abandoned home in Henderson. 13 Action News reporter Austin Carter is live near Sunridge Heights in Eastern. And Austin, you've been in the neighborhood all day. What have you heard from the people living nearby?
That's right, Tom. Well, not only have I been speaking with neighbors, but I actually talked to the victim family. They were just out here about an hour ago, and I was able to speak with the mother, who tells me it was her teenage son that was found dead here inside this home. Now, some of the family members dropping off those flowers and a candle you see on the front porch. Now, those family members obviously very upset, but hopefully they can sleep just a little bit better tonight, knowing that the 2 people who police say are behind his killing are behind bars tonight. Now, the 2 people involved in this homicide, according to police, were actually arrested on Friday night after getting into a crash trying to flee from a traffic stop near Sunset in Green Valley. That's when officers were tipped off about a possible homicide that happened at this abandoned home along Cool Lilac Avenue in Henderson. Police finding a juvenile's body inside the home, and officers able to tie the 2 involved in the crash to this juvenile's death. Now, take a look at this footage you will see only on 13 tonight. As Henderson police officers were back out at the home today, you can see those officers with their weapons drawn, covering all angles of the house. Henderson PD tells me they were called out after reports from some neighbors that someone was actually inside the house, but it was later determined that no one was inside. Now, folks living out here are telling me today that the family was going door to door in the neighborhood earlier this weekend, trying to find out if anyone knew anything about how their son ended up dead inside this home. And as for those 2 suspects that were arrested, they are behind bars, booked into the Clark County Juvenile Hall tonight. Reporting live in Henderson, Austin Carter, 13 Action News.
All right, thanks, Austin. And this homicide is the 4th so far this year happening in Henderson. Turning now to the weather this afternoon, we're looking forward to a pretty hot week, maybe some nice pool weather across the valley, but Dan's been keeping an eye on a tropical storm that might change that. So Dan, how cool could things get?
Not really that cool. Today's temperature is sitting at 96 degrees. The lowest I have in the 7 days is 95. So, we're not talking a big cool down, but temperature is definitely going to warm up until then. 96 right now, though. That's the high so far today. A lot of sunshine out there. Winds a little breezy this morning, but nothing out there this afternoon. Absolutely beautiful across the city. As we go into the overnight, temperatures dropping back to about the same this morning. Mid-70s, clear skies. Winds not around. Winds will not be a factor until maybe later on this week, when we could see some clouds and we could even see some rain and we could see cooler temperatures. There's a lot of question marks in this forecast because of Hurricane Bud that just formed later this morning. I'm going to show you the track of that and what it could possibly do to our forecast by next weekend.
President Trump calls it a mission of peace, a face-to-face with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He now faces his toughest test to date as he attempts to personally broker an end to Kim's nuclear program. Both men have arrived in Singapore, that historic meeting taking place on Tuesday. ABC's Karen Travers is in Singapore with more.
Just hours before the first ever meeting between a sitting U.S. president and a leader of North Korea, President Trump projecting confidence.
This is a great opportunity for peace.
The president prioritizing instinct over planning. He says he'll know in the first minute whether Kim Jong-un is serious about giving up his nuclear weapons. And the man who says he's mastered the art of the deal says he could still walk away.
And if I think it won't happen, I'm not going to waste my time. I don't want to waste his time.
So there's really only 2 options, peace or war.
But President Trump, who has called this meeting a one-time shot, is now lowering expectations.
But at a minimum, I do believe at least we'll have met each other. We will have seen each other. Hopefully we will have liked each other.
This one-on-one summit with Kim Jong-un comes right after the G7 World Leaders Summit. President Trump arrived late, skipped out early, and continued his tough talk on trade.
We're like the piggy bank that everybody's robbing, and that ends.
The U.S. abruptly pulling out of the G7 joint communique, a statement from all leaders attending the summit. Tensions are escalating between President Trump and the other G7 leaders, especially Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The 2 exchanged harsh barbs after the summit. Sunday morning, advisors to President Trump suggesting Prime Minister Trudeau is out to undermine the North Korea summit.
There's a special place in hell for any foreign leader that engages in bad faith diplomacy with President Donald J. Trump.
He was polarizing. He really kind of stabbed us in the back.
Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Singapore.
Now to some incredible images in the aftermath of a home explosion in Cleveland. A woman is dead after it blew up this afternoon, leaving another man in critical condition. Police say 4 homes next door caught on fire after the blast. Firefighters managed to put out the blaze, but the incident apparently razed the home that was caught up in the blast and tossed debris all over the scene. Neighbors say the explosion was so loud that it blew up windows 5 homes down from that house. And in North Hollywood, several people are injured after a shooting at a party. 5 people are recovering with gunshot wounds. 2 people were detained at the scene. Police say the shooting may have been gang-related. They say casings recovered at the scene were of several different calibers, meaning that there was possibly more than one shooter. And in West Hollywood, people were turned away at the Pride Festival because it reached capacity. People waiting in line with tickets were told to leave and to call the city's website tomorrow to get a refund. Officials say several people became unruly and some reportedly started throwing rocks. Deputies had to put on full tactical gear. Looking ahead now, primary election day is this Tuesday, June 12th. Voters will pick candidates in races for U.S. Senate, Nevada's 4 U.S. House seats, governor, attorney general, and a number of other state and local races. 172 voting centers will be open across Clark County that day, and you can vote at any one of them, no matter where you live. And of course, count on KTNV to bring you full coverage of those results on Tuesday. Looking ahead now, Valley employers are looking to hire veterans and their family members. The Cosmopolitan is hosting a job fair this Wednesday, June 13th at 10 a.m. It'll feature 50 different local employers, including several big gaming companies, the cities of Las Vegas and Henderson, and NV Energy. They all plan to be there. Just make sure you bring a copy of your resume.
We're trying to help young adults transform into regular adults.
All right, and the Boulder City Library is offering a different kind of learning series starting this Tuesday. It's called Adulting 101, kind of half joking, but also half serious. This is part of a story reporter Parker Collins is working on for tomorrow. They're teaching some stuff you might not have gotten in school, but could be helpful in the real world. You'll learn more about what the quirky curriculum is doing during Good Morning Las Vegas tomorrow. Well, summer is almost here, which means many people are booking their vacations, so we have some tips for you to find some cheap flights. A toxicology report is expected on the shocking death of Anthony Bourdain, but many people who saw him in his final days are talking about how they remember him. And count on Chopper 13 to bring you breaking news fast and first. We'll be right back. An actor from the TV show The Goldbergs was found dead in California. Jackson Odell was found unresponsive at a home in Tarzana. He was 20 years old. An autopsy has not been performed. He played the character Ari Caldwell on the sitcom. A far-reaching legacy for a man who spent his life eating and drinking well. The world still shocked over the sudden loss of Anthony Bourdain. ABC's Chuck Sivertson shares a message for those who suffer from depression and those who love them.
2 days after celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain took his life, French police say there's no evidence of foul play, ruling out any suspicious activity and saying toxicology tests are being done as those who saw him in his final days come forward. The New York Times reporting Bourdain skipped dinner and did not show up for breakfast the next morning, ultimately leading to the discovery of his body. His mother, Gladys Bourdain, also telling the Times his close friend told her he had been in a dark mood these past couple of days. Yet the sommelier in the restaurant where Bourdain had just filmed said he appeared happy.
Everything was fine. Everything was working great.
One of the most recognized TV personalities in the world, he was the host of shows No Reservations and Parts Unknown, creating a food and travel empire.
Fellow travelers, this is what you want.
In New York, crowds gathered outside the former location of Bourdain's acclaimed restaurant.
He was very honest and equal the way he treated everyone. He didn't privilege any ethnicity or peoples. It was just pure appreciation of life, living and eating well.
For a man who lived life larger than the portions on his plate, there were red flags putting himself out there when he shared a conversation with a therapist in 2016 on Parts Unknown.
Suddenly I'm super depressed for days. It's like that with the good stuff, too.
Just this week, CNN airing a 2014 broadcast, Bourdain savoring his supper, adding a prescient sediment at meal's end.
I will never eat like this again in my life. Chef, merci.
J'étais très heureux de vous recevoir.
The meal of my life.
Chuck Sivertson, ABC News, New York.
Actor Vince Vaughn was arrested in California for driving under the influence early this morning. Vaughn was stopped at a DUI checkpoint in Hermosa Beach near Los Angeles. Police say he was also charged with delaying or obstructing officers. A male in the car with Vaughn was also arrested. Well, one small kiss, one large step for gay rights. A gubernatorial candidate in Maryland released his timely ad during Pride Month. Rich Madaleno is the first political candidate to kiss a same-sex spouse in a political spot. The 30-second commercial started airing Thursday in the Washington, D.C. area. The LGBTQ Victory Fund applauded it, saying, quote, Madaleno is boldly stating he's proud of his family and will fight for all Marylanders if elected. Madaleno, a Democrat, also issued a statement saying he is, quote, proud to be unflinching in standing up against hate. First Lady Melania Trump is set to attend the annual Ford's Theater Gala tonight. The gala is a fundraiser for the theater that's preserving the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln. President Trump and the First Lady made an appearance last year, which was their first event into Washington's social scene. The gala will be her second public appearance since her kidney procedure last month.
Now, 13 First Alert weather.
Oh, hopefully your Sunday's going all right. I'm 13 First Alert meteorologist Dan Bronis. Two systems in the Pacific we're tracking. One of them will impact, could impact our weather by the end of the week. The first one, Alita, this one was a Category 4 storm a few days ago. That is weakened drastically, 45-mile-per-hour winds. Then we have Hurricane Bud, winds at 80 miles an hour. This one is not far off the coast of Mexico at all. This will affect a little bit of the coastline of Mexico over the next couple of days. Strengthen to a Category 2 storm, move right towards Cabo San Lucas, pretty much a dead center hit. It looks like as of right now as a weak Category 1 storm or a strong tropical storm, so we're not talking the worst storm ever for them. But this storm is in a very good location by this weekend for us to get some moisture. Now, we have a couple factors that working against it. We're going to actually have low pressure move in off the Pacific Northwest. That could really push a lot of that moisture into Arizona and New Mexico. So we may not see much at all from that, but that is something we will be watching very closely. Well, drought, it would be good if we see some significant rainfall, even across Arizona and Mexico. That drought has just blown up this winter. We've seen a pretty wet winter, at least January was wet, but we're pretty close to average to date. They are so dry in that part of the country, they could use any rainfall they could get, and to get rainfall in June is a treat because usually June is the driest month for the desert Southwest. 40 days since we've seen rainfall, so anything would help, but like I said, it's a small chance for us seeing some rain as of right now, but there's a couple days, so we'll watch that closely. Today, a little cooler, dry, winds not there. So a beautiful day to get outside, 96 degrees, that current temperature, Las Vegas, 97 in Prim, 102 Laughlin, a little warm there. Pollen count's not very high, just weeds. That's the only thing elevated, everything else pretty low. Tonight, temperatures will drop back to the mid-70s, 75 for Las Vegas. So waking up tomorrow, about the same as this morning. We'll wake up 76 Laughlin, a little bit cooler to the north with a few 40s out there. Mount Charleston, 49 degrees, 72 Centennial Hills, 73 North Las Vegas, 74 out in Henderson tonight. Now tomorrow, the warm-up starts again. 113 for Death Valley. A little warm there, 108 Laughlin. We'll be at 103 at McCarran, while Summerlin sits at 98 degrees, 100 for Rhodes Ranch. So a little bit warmer than our typical 97 degrees for today's date. During the week, the average high is about 90 week. The average low is 74. So we're going to be above these numbers over the next several days. Look at these records. Already 109 to 116. The good news is no records will fall, but we're going to get a little bit warmer as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday. First, the weekend. This is when Bud could impact us. Shower potential there starting Friday, lasting through the weekend. Not a great chance. It's a small chance. A few more clouds out there as well. Father's Day looking all right, 95 degrees, mostly sunny skies as of right now, but Bud is going to be a big influence on our weekend to see what that does. So look to Thursday. I think we're solid until then. 107 Tuesday, Wednesday, a lot of sunshine. Flag Day, 105, a lot of sun. That's when the changes could start Thursday afternoon, lasting through the weekend. Breezes will pick up, it looks like Thursday. Overnight lows pretty mild, near 80 degrees, waking up every day this week.
All right, thanks, Dan. Well, there are plenty of jobs around the valley, and we're working with Nevada Job Connect to make sure you know about all those openings. There's an opening for a transportation engineer with at least a year of experience, also an opening for a food and beverage supervisor, pay is $14 an hour, and an opening for a material handler with warehouse experience where pay is $12 an hour. For more information on these jobs and other openings around the valley, just go to ktnv.com/jobs. Well, from Contact 13, with gas prices going up, it might actually be cheaper to fly than to drive. 13 Action News anchor Yasmin Hassan has more on how you can catch some of the best deals.
Gas prices are high right now, so maybe for your next trip, you want to fly. Have you heard of Google Flights? According to CNET, this search engine is the next best thing to a travel agent. It's super fast. You can tweak your dates to change the airfare, and it's all right in front of you. Google Flights can also identify the best deal. Just look for the one in the green. It can also find money-saving alternates, track your trips, tell you if it's a good time to book, and, best of all, predict flight delays. While some people like doing the legwork on their own, others prefer to go the old-school way with a travel agent. Why? Well, blame it on the information overload.
Once you get them in and they realize, wait a second, why am I doing this? It's such a waste of time. I'm not getting the value out of it. I'm saving money, and this is a wonderful thing.
Travel agent David Fishman says another problem that travelers want to avoid is fraud.
Last year alone, there was $4 billion in hotel fraud and $1 billion in airline fraud, online bookings. Because when you go there and you Google things, they pop up, you really don't know who you're doing business with.
The travel guru says a person spends about 27 hours of planning and researching for a 4-day vacation, making you question, is it really worth doing it solo? Yasmin Hassan, 13 Action News.
Some good tips there. All right, well, it's said to be sweet but tart. Just in time for summer, Sonic debuting an interesting treat that may or may not please your taste buds. Now, here's a preview of World News Tonight.
Coming up, President Trump and Kim Jong-un have both arrived here in Singapore. You will see the images as they now prepare to meet face-to-face. Back home tonight, major evacuations, the wildfire doubling in size, and severe storms, flash flood warnings along the east, all coming up on World News Tonight.
All right, well, looking ahead next week, Las Vegas Restaurant Week kicks off the 18th and runs through the 29th. This will be the 12th year that the city will host this tasty event. The Valley is known for all kinds of different rare and exotic foods, so tons of restaurants are participating this year. Just head on over to our website at ktnv.com for more information. Well, a sports bar finds itself in the dirty dining spotlight. Contact 13 Chief Investigator Darcy Spears has the scoop.
Diamond crystal salt is for melting snow on roads and use in water softener systems. But at the Plate Bar and Grill on Lamb near Sahara, it's used to season the prime rib. That's despite a warning on the bag that it's not approved for direct food use. And that's just one violation that led to a 38 demerit C grade on the Plate's May 23rd inspection.
And we just need to speak to the person in charge, make sure we get your side of the story.
Well, she's not here right now.
There's someone in charge on the premises though, right?
Let me go back and see if my boss is here.
Okay.
I don't know. He's in and out all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
The bar's A grade from July 2017 is easy to see. The restaurant's C grade is obscured behind a horseshoe wall decoration. That C came after inspectors found flies in the kitchen, a large container of moldy grapes, expired milk and whipping cream, and this excessively soiled ice machine. So much mold that it was immediately taken out of service for deep cleaning. Kitchen equipment and floors were dirty with heavy grease and old food debris. Deli meat was not date labeled, and the person in charge did not know how old it was. And all this sour cream, ranch, and salsa had to be thrown out due to unsafe temperatures.
So there's really just nobody here that can comment at all on the inspection?
They're in and out all the darn time, so it's really hard to say when you can get a hold of them.
The owner did call back, but did not want to go on camera. He said part of the problem was a new health inspector who took issue with the kind of refrigerators they'd been using. He admitted the road salt was their mistake, but said they used it for food seasoning all the time in Wisconsin. And he said he'd need to talk to his kitchen staff about the rest of the violations.
Darcy Spears reporting there. And for cupcake lovers, next week is your day. National Cupcake Lovers Day is Wednesday, and Kneaders Bakery and Cafe is offering a sweet deal. You can buy one, share one free chocolate peanut butter cupcakes. All you need to do is follow Kneaders on Instagram and Facebook. All right, slush fans, are you gutsy enough to try a pickle juice flavor? All right, well, that's one of the 4 new flavors that'll debut at Sonic tomorrow. The other 3 new flavors are Bahama Mama, Blue Hawaiian, and Tiger's Blood. However, the company says the pickle juice has created by far the most buzz, as you can imagine, on the internet. Sonic describes the taste as sweet but tart. Hey, with these warm temps, nothing like sitting back at the pool, relaxing with a pickle juice slushie.
I bet you that's going to be popular as well. All right, well, yeah, well, you're going to want one of those possibly with temperatures going up, because we're talking 107 Tuesday and Wednesday. A lot of sunshine out there. Overnight lows right near 80 degrees, so a nice mild week expected. Through Thursday, you're looking good, and that's when things could change. Hurricane Bud spinning off the coast of Mexico could impact our weather, bring some rain in here, but not a great chance. We will fine-tune that forecast through the next several days, though.
All right, we'll be watching. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight in a primetime lineup on Channel 13 at 7, America's Funniest Home Videos, 8 o'clock, Celebrity Family Feud, 9 o'clock, The $100,000 Pyramid, 10, To Tell the Truth, and then, of course, 13 Action News at 11. That's 13 Action News for now. Stay with us for World News coming up next. We're always on at KTNV. We'll see you right back here at 6.